Welcome to Scrum Masters Elite _UK. Subscribe to the channel to analyze and learn from the world of sport together. Lessons from the All Blacks win over the Stormers. The All Blacks' 38-21 victory over the Stormers was certainly an impressive result. But for me, the most important part was not the 17-point margin. It was what lay behind that victory. New Zealand at one point had only 13 players on the field after 3 yellow cards were shown to Anton Lienert-Brown, Simon Parker, and Josh Morby. Despite being reduced to 13 men, they remained solid and did not allow the Stormers to score. This was clearly a positive sign of the team's character and defensive resilience. However, those 3 yellow cards also showed that the All Blacks still have work to do when it comes to discipline. Mistakes involving the scrum, maul, line-out, or breakdown contests may not seem particularly serious when viewed individually, but when they keep happening, they can put a team under unnecessary pressure. At international level, sometimes even one small mistake can completely change the course of a match. One thing I respect about Dave Rennie is that he did not simply blame the referee. Even though there were decisions the team felt had gone against them, Rennie still acknowledged that the All Blacks needed to improve their discipline.
In my view, that is a mindset worth learning from. In sport, just as in life, we cannot control everything other people do. We cannot change every decision that we believe is unfair or unfavorable. But we can control how we respond. If we focus too much on whether the referee was fair or not, we can easily lose sight of the most important question: what can we do better in the next situation? The All Blacks demonstrated this when they were down to 13 players, but still managed to maintain their defensive structure. They could not change the circumstances, so they had to adapt. That is also a lesson I take away for myself. When we face adversity, the most important thing is not to complain about the circumstances, but to identify what we can still control. Another aspect worth highlighting was the All Blacks' high-tempo style of play. Rennie wanted his team to maintain a high pace, but the Stormers defended well and looked for ways to slow the game down. The slippery ball, intense physical contests, and pressure around the middle of the field made it difficult for New Zealand to create the attacking rhythm they are accustomed to. This shows that a great team must not only know how to play to its strengths, it must also know what to do when an opponent does not allow it to play in its preferred way. Speed is a weapon, but speed without accuracy can become a weakness. In my opinion, the All Blacks need to find the right balance between aggression, tempo, and discipline. They do not need to become less aggressive. They need to become better at controlling that aggression.
For fans, I also think this is a moment when we should look at sport in a more mature way. We can celebrate a victory while still acknowledging the shortcomings. We can disagree with the referee without immediately concluding that every unfavorable decision is the result of bias. And most importantly, loving a team does not mean we have to defend that team in every situation. A true supporter can cheer for the team, analyze its performance, and still look at the issues objectively. For the wider community, this story reminds us that a strong team is not one that never makes mistakes. A strong team is one that recognizes its mistakes and works together to correct them. The All Blacks beat the Stormers, but the victory also delivered an important reminder. Greatness is not only about overcoming adversity, it is also about not creating unnecessary adversity for yourself. 3 yellow cards are something that needs to improve. The ability to defend with only 13 players is something to be proud of, and the way the team recognizes and reflects on both sides of the story may be the most important thing of all. I believe that is one of the greatest values sport can offer us. Victory gives us joy, defeat gives us lessons, and difficult moments show us who we really are. The All Blacks came through a challenging match, but the greater challenge will be turning the lessons from this game into genuine improvement in the matches that follow. Because in the end, a victory has the greatest value when it helps us become better.
Thank you for following Scrum Masters Elite _UK. See you again soon, and let's keep improving after every victory.